Yeah, pause YouTube, 6 Attacks here. Happy guys, today week 2 of GBA D League Season 3. This week we are taking on HLD Productions, the coach of the Texas Rangers, who are coming off of a pretty good victory in week 1 against my pal, it's Regulator, while we are coming off of a pretty disastrous loss in week 1, I'm not gonna lie. So hopefully in week 2 we can bounce back and make our score 1-1. If not, then we're going to be at a 0-2 start to the beginning of Season 3 of the D League. And unfortunately, we do have a pretty annoying matchup going into this battle. If you guys would like to know why I brought the exact Pokemon I brought and what I expect in my Pokemon, my opponent to bring, then a link to the team builder will be down in the description, as well as a link to my opponent's channel and the GBA YouTube channel as well. So with all that being said, if you guys are excited for this battle and hope that we can make a comeback, then make sure to hammer arm that like button down below. And once the battle is over, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. So going into this battle, I was actually really surprised to see that he brought the Cloyster and that he brought the Meloetta and that he didn't bring the Nidoking. I really felt that Nidoking had a much better matchup in this battle than the Cloyster or the Meloetta, but the fact that he doesn't have the Nidoking is actually really good, because that's just one giant offensive threat I no longer have to worry about. And with him not having Nidoking or the Celebi, this means he doesn't have Stealth Rocks in this battle, which is also really good for us because I do have Stealth Rocks on my Mega Aerodactyl, which I will hopefully be able to get up, and in that case will be in a bit of an advantage throughout this entire game, although there is a good chance that he could either have Defog or potentially have Rapid Spin on the Cloyster. However, though, Cloyster could also be Shell Smash, which is what I'm mainly going to be expecting going into the battle, because Shell Smash Cloyster could be a bit of a nuisance late game. Meloetta could be kind of a problem if it's a Relic Song, and late game I don't have my Mega Aerodactyl, so I have to be careful with that. But the three biggest issues, I should say, going into this game, regardless, we're going to be the terrifying Volt Turn core of Tapu Koko and Mega Scizor, and then Alolan Muck, which Alolan Muck just had an absolutely amazing matchup going into this battle. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get this started. Now, originally I had 2 set leads in mind, either my Salazzle or my Mega Aerodactyl. Ultimately, I decided on my Mega Aerodactyl because in his week 1 battle, he ended up leading off with Tapu Koko. So I was hoping that he would lead off with that in hopes that maybe he would think I would lead off with my Salazzle and then he wouldn't lead off with the Scizor, but he did end up leading off with the Scizor. And turn 1, we already have a very important turn in this battle, because there's a couple scenarios that could happen in this instance. Scenario number 1 is that he turns out to be Adamant Max Attack and he knocks me out with the Bullet Punch, which is only about a 50% chance, or I live the Bullet Punch, or he's not an offensive Mega Scizor, I live the Bullet Punch and I can get on my rocks, or he ends up going for the U-turn expecting me to switch out fearing the Bullet Punch. Regardless though, I thought that it was in my best interest to stay in here, find out exactly what kind of set this Scizor was, and then I would be able to get up my Stealth Rocks. And even if he does have Defog on the Scizor, or if he has the Rapid Spin on the Cloyster, as long as I can keep up offensive pressure, I should be able to prevent them from either going for Defog or going for the Rapid Spin. So I do end up staying here, as I mentioned, and I am going to go ahead and get on my rocks as he goes for the Bullet Punch. Turns out that he is indeed a bulky Mega Scizor, because that Bullet Punch comes nowhere near close to knocking me out, and at 47 HP I am actually 100% out of range of where a max attack Adamant Shadow Sneak coming from Alolan Muck can finish me off. So if that scenario does come up later in this game, that's going to be really good for me. So after getting on my rocks, I'm very positive he's going to try and go for the Bullet Punch here again, although him going for the U-turn would have been a really good play as well. Salazzle, regardless, I felt was my safest switch in, and because I do have Salazzle in against the Mega Scizor, I'm going to expect him to want to switch into either the Meloetta or bring in the Muck, both of which can be pressured by my Mega Aerodactyl, which is why I double into it, as I do get a free switch here into my Mega Aerodactyl. I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake. My gut was telling me to switch directly into Salazzle, but I really didn't want to risk the Muck potentially going for the pursuit on the off chance that he did expect me to want to switch out. So I thought that going for Earthquake either way was going to be my best play, as I get off a little bit of chip damage on the incoming Mega Scizor. I still have a lot of use for my Mega Aerodactyl, so I'm going to make the safe switch back into my Salazzle here, expecting him to either go for the Bullet Punch or go for the U-turn. It was really a 50-50 on what exactly he would do. Thankfully though, he does end up going for the Bullet Punch because he might have been fearing me having the Fire Fang or potentially the Fire Blast, which makes a lot of sense because in the original version of this team I did have Fire Fang on Mega Aerodactyl, but in this case it does help out that I don't have it because I do get a free switch back into my Salazzle, as I'm able to consistently get off some good damage on this Alolan Muck. I don't exactly have too many good switch-ins to a knockoff, so while Donphan is the win condition in this battle, it's still at the same time my best switch-in to this Alolan Muck. Plus I'm still Adamant max attack, which means I'm going to be doing a lot of damage to whatever he potentially switches into this, and I'm going to expect him to actually want to bring in the Mega Scizor here, and I'm going to go for the Fire Fang, which is really great because getting rid of Mega Scizor so early on in this battle puts me in a very, very good position. Also means that that is one less offensive threat that my team now has to worry about. So this does, however, give him a free switch into the Tapu Koko, which I do thankfully have a specially defensive Raichu in the back, which should be able to safely switch into this, and I'm expecting him to not be a Life Orb set and most likely be a Gracium Z set or a Fairyum Z set, but it turns out that he is actually running Life Orb, and this is really good for my Raichu because there is absolutely no way this Tapu Koko will be able to beat my Raichu unless he is running Calm Mind, which I'm very, very positive he will not be running on the Tapu Koko because Tapu Koko does need all 4 of its offensive moves going into this battle. So because he has Life Orb, I expect him to be either Roost, 3 attacks, or just 4 attacks Life Orb in general. So I will be able to go for the Wish this turn, and then because I am exactly 1 or 2 HP if I'm not mistaken out of range of where a max damage roll Dazzling Gleam can knock me out, I'm going to be aggressive here and I'm going to go straight for the Thunderbolt as I'm able to catch the incoming Meloetta. This is really nice chip damage on this Meloetta, and fearing the fact that he could go for the Relic Song and maybe put my Raichu to sleep, I actually end up switching here into my Tapu Fini because thanks to the Misty Terrain, there's no way I will be put to sleep because of the effects of it. So that's really good for me because if he does transform, I can then go for the Moonblast and potentially knock him out, but he actually ends up going for the Hyper Voice. Judging from that damage, he is definitely running max special attack, although I don't know if he's Choice Scarf or he could be a potential Berry set. Either way though, I'm going to stay in here and I make a bit of a misplay. What I should have done initially was gone for the Protect because there was a good chance that he wasn't going to switch out here. Like, his only real switch in is Muck, which Muck is already below 50%, and after Stealth Rocks, I think I might have been able to knock him out with 2 Hydro Pumps, so I think protecting there before going for the Hydro Pump would have been my better play because that would have given my Tapu Fini an extra 6% HP, so I could have had a better chance to live the Hyper Voice. As this turn, I am going to end up misplaying a bit around this Meloetta, I'm not going to lie. I end up switching into my Reuniclus, not expecting this Hyper Voice to do as much damage as it did. So what I should have honestly done was left in my Tapu Fini and gone straight for a second Hydro Pump, because now I'm going to be forced to switch out, because if I leave in my Reuniclus here and I allow it to get below like 70-ish%, the Alolan Muck can then come in and Pursuit Trap me and potentially knock me out, and that could be really bad because I do still kind of need Reuniclus to be able to deal with that Tapu Koko if I lose my Raichu. So at this point I really felt that Salazzle wasn't doing entirely too much, so as he knocks me out, I will bring back in my Tapu Fini. Here I thought that he would actually predict me to go for the Protect, which is why I didn't go for it. Luckily though, I am able to live the Hyper Voice. I think even if he had got a max damage roll, I would have been able to live, and I don't miss as I'm able to get rid of the Meloetta. This is really great because now that is one less threat I have to worry about, although he does still have that potential Shell Smash Cloyster in the back, which can easily come in, Shell Smash, and potentially sweep late game, so I really have to be careful with that. As he actually ends up bringing in the Hawlucha here, as much as I wanted to go for the Protect, I really couldn't risk risk it because he could have potentially predicted that and then gone for either a Swords Dance or gone for the substitute, in which case that would have been extremely bad for me. So I really thought that going for the Moonblast was by far my better play, as this will now allow me to get a free switch into my Reuniclus, even if he does want to switch out his Hawlucha here, because he's already popped his Power Herb and activated his Unburden. When he switches out and switches back in, he's not going to be at double speed. And after 2 turns of Stealth Rock switching, as long as he's not like a max HP variant, my Adamant Max Attack Mega Aerodactyl can easily knock him out with the Stone Edge. As I chew the Acrobatics and knock him out with the Psychic, he is going to end up bringing in the Muck here. This is where I really thought he was going to go for the Pursuit, and I actually stayed in, and I think I went for the knockoff because it was in my best interest to get a switch into my Raichu. After going for the knockoff, I think I would have put him in range of where Thunderbolt would have been able to knock him out. Unfortunately though, I have to bring in my Aerodactyl here, and I was actually really hoping that he would get the Poison Touch. That way, after I knock out the Alola Muck, I would go down to the Poison, because Mega Aerodactyl is not touching the ground. It's not affected by Misty Terrain, so the Alola Muck still could have poisoned me. Unfortunately though, because he didn't poison me, at this point, if this Cloyster does turn out to be a Shell Smash set and I miss my Stone Edge, I essentially lose this battle. So in this scenario, so far in this battle, there is a 20% chance that I am still going to lose just by missing Stone Edge, and that's really bad because my last Pokemon are this Mega Aerodactyl, the Reuniclus, and the Raichu, all 3 of which just dropped to a +2 Cloyster. So it literally comes down to whether or not I can connect a Stone Edge here, and that will be the deciding factor if we win or not. Thankfully though, Cesaro is well trained, and we are going to hit him up with a Stone Edge. At this point, his last Pokemon is going to be the Tapu Koko, which will not be able to outspeed me because I am running enough speed to outspeed timid max speed Tapu Koko by 1 point, and we know he is Life Orb and not Choice Scarfed, and I will be able to finish him off with the Earthquake. So Mega Aerodactyl putting the team on his back here at the end, and luckily pulling us out a victory in week 2. So we do manage to bounce back after the very rough start that we had at the beginning of the season. Next week though, we do have another tough matchup because we are facing the team that has the ever so broken Magearna, the Rosen Raidenburg, so we really have to watch out for that. Regardless though, good game to HLD Productions. Definitely go check him out, guys. His channel link and stuff again are down in the description. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought about this battle, and with all that being said, I will see y'all tomorrow or next week. So later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion, but when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.